President Rodrigo Duterte defends the health department from allegations of corruption stemming from the recent Commission on Audit report.
So the issue of whether the money has been stolen, that is pure bullshit. Imposible magnakaw ka ng 67.3.
He adds COA should stop publishing its audit reports since they put government officials in a bad light.
Stop that flagging, god damn it. You make a report, do not flag. Do not publish it because it will condemn the agency or the person that you are flagging. The flagging is spelled F-L-A-G-G-E-D. Ang ginagawa ninyo is F-L-O-G-G-I-N-G. Flagging. Hampas. Huwag ka munang mag-audit hanggang hindi pa natapos ang trabaho ko. Yan lang naman sana hinihingi natin.
Despite all these and the other allegations hounding the health department, Duterte still refuses to fire Health Secretary Francisco Duque.
Wala ka namang ginawang masama. Bakit ka mag-resign?
Senators called out Duterte for his remarks during his weekly talk to the people Monday night, August 16. Senator Panfilo Lacson reminds the president COA is a constitutional independent body which has a mandate to perform and no one can dictate on them. Opposition Senator Francis Pangilinan asserts it is the DOH that should be castigated for its incompetence. Senator Risa Hontiveros argues the recent surge in COVID-19 cases is a clear indication of Duque's failure as health chief. Senators from both the majority and minority blocs earlier called for Duque's resignation after the Senate investigated corruption allegations hounding the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. Unemotional Health Secretary Francisco Duque III faces a House committee Tuesday, August 17, following a controversial audit report of his department's COVID-19 funds amounting to 67.3 billion pesos.
Por Diyos, por Santo, mahawa naman kayo. Kayo nga ang pumunta rito at kayo ang gumawa.
Duque calls the Commission on Audit report unfair and unjust.
COA should also consider that we're not operating under normal circumstances. We're operating under a state of public health emergency. Winarak na ninyo kami. Winarak na ninyo ang dangal ng DOH. Winarak ninyo ang lahat ng mga kasama ko dito. Hindi kami makaharap sa mga tao dahil lahat, ang dami-daming sinasabi, ang dami-daming paratang. Wala pa rin akong tulog.
Duque says they were not given the full 60 days to explain their side on the findings. The 60 days Duque mentioned refers to the time given to an agency to report back to COA if they have implemented the recommendations made in the audit report. Before the audit report was transmitted to the DOH and published on the website, COA chairperson Michael Aguinaldo says several meetings were held among resident auditors and DOH officials, and an exit conference was conducted. The DOH and other agencies were given until June 30 to submit documents before the audit report is published, as mandated by law. The DOH, however, failed to submit all the documents to COA. Aguinaldo says it is not correct to say that there is no due process. He notes they have an obligation to report what transpired with respect to an agency's budget allocation.
Need more context, clarity, and perspective? Get the full picture with Rappler Plus. With exclusive content and events, you'll get an opportunity to discuss issues with reporters, experts, and featured guests while helping Rappler continue its fearless journalism. Join now.
Claudine Bautista, representative for Public Utility Vehicle Driver Party List, is under fire for getting married in luxury destination Balesin Island Resort. The wedding drew the public's attention after fashion designer Michael Cinco published photos of the bride and the groom on an Instagram post geotagged in Balesin. Event designer Gideon Hermosa also showed a look of the dressed-up Balesin marquee. The negative public sentiment against the representative is most pronounced on a Twitter thread by user DD Holiday. She writes, the drivers and commuters rep who voted no to ABS-CBN franchise got married in a Michael Cinco gown in a lavish peony-filled ceremony in Balesin in the middle of a pandemic. Many of the users echoed the tweet, expressing their anger at the representative. They say the party list system was supposed to give better representation in the legislative for marginalized groups. A photo also surfaced online showing guests such as Davao Mayor Sara Duterte, former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, San Miguel President Secretary Ramon Ang and Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana. Some users defend Bautista, saying the family and her husband have the financial capability to hold the event in the high-end resort. But the law for the Code of Conduct and Ethics of Government officials say they should lead simple lives and not indulge in extravagant or ostentatious display of wealth in any form. Actress Agot Isidro criticizes the purchase of the gown, saying that gown alone can feed hundreds of families of displaced drivers. Military flights evacuating diplomats and civilians from Afghanistan restart early on Tuesday, August 17. This after the runway at Kabul airport is cleared of thousands of people desperate to flee after the Taliban seized the capital. This comes a day after chaos reigned at the airport, when US police fired gunshots to disperse crowds as people clung to a US military transport plane. US forces take charge of the airport, the only remaining exit point from Afghanistan. The Taliban now controls all ground routes following its dramatic advance across the country during the past week. It climaxed on Sunday when the insurgents streamed triumphantly into Kabul, capturing the capital without a fight. With scenes of panic and confusion in Kabul being seen around the world, US President Joe Biden defends his country's decision to withdraw US forces after 20 years of war.
I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces. That's why we're still there.
Biden blames the Taliban's takeover on Afghan political leaders who fled the country and the Afghan army's unwillingness to fight. RuPaul announces early Tuesday, August 17, casting for Drag Race Philippines is open.
Calling all queens! If you think you have what it takes to become the first Drag Race superstar from the Philippines, we want to hear from you. Show us your charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. And this could be the beginning of the rest of your life.
In a statement to media, World of Wonder co-founders Randy Barbado and Fenton Bailey say they are thrilled to exclusively premiere Drag Race Philippines on the WOW Presents Plus platform. Meantime, one of Drag Race's most popular queens, Filipino-American Manila Luzon, is set to host another drag queen reality competition, Drag Den Philippines. The show recently opened its casting as well. Hours after the Drag Race Philippines casting announcement, Manila tweets, "This is major. The Philippines is going to have 2 drag reality shows on TV."